Flood recovery efforts continue across eastern Kentucky. We'll hear from victims in hard-hit areas of one county for the first time. And police arrest a man during a shooting investigation in Laurel County.
And tonight, a cold front pushes through. I'll tell you what to expect coming up.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
We have watched countless communities working to recover, rebuild, and reclaim their sense of security since the flood poured through the region nearly 2 weeks ago. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has a look at some of the hardest hit communities in Martin County, where people say they are just trying to get their lives back in order.
From the Warfield IGA to neighborhoods in the Huntleyville community.
It looked like a total war zone. There was debris and mud everywhere. It was just total destruction.
Martin County saw widespread damage during the recent flooding.
Feeling just like helpless.
Naomi Fletcher has lived in the lovely community for 40 years, but she says she has never seen the water work its way through the way it did nearly 2 weeks ago.
It's just amazing what the floodwaters can do. You know, just standing and how dangerous it really is. You never know. You live beside of it your whole life, but you don't know how dangerous it really can get.
Barbie Ann Maynard says she was still recovering from a surgery and was trying to get her father, who has dementia and other health concerns, out of the home when they noticed the waters were rising.
And by the time I got him out, the water was up too far and I couldn't get out. So I spent the next 24 hours trapped in this house on the second floor.
She says she watched throughout the night with no electricity and a dead cell phone, hoping the water did not reach where she was.
I kept thinking about these movies of people running for air pockets in homes or with raising water, trying to get another breath. And in my mind, that was my worst fear.
Looking back, she says she was blessed. The water stopped one cinder block before reaching into the home.
This house was built actually one cinder block above the '77 flood.
Fletcher also considers herself lucky, saying many of her neighbors were hit much worse. And though she lost some items, her home was spared.
Watch all your memories just go, everything that you've worked for or everything that you've tried to hang on to goes.
Maynard says she doesn't know where she would be without the help of the community and what she calls her angel volunteers.
The supplies and the food is greatly appreciated, but nothing compares to the manpower.
While Fletcher and her family are just working to clean up what they can, trying to find the motivation to move forward.
We'll get it back together, you know. We'll work on it and just get back to normal.
In Martin County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Appalachia an outreach in Martin County, is working with area churches and organizations to provide resources and hands to help Martin County recover. Kentuckians are not the only ones helping flood victims after the flooding. Some in other states are helping out as well. The Cosby Fire Department in Cosby, Tennessee is collecting supplies to deliver to folks in Martin and Pike counties. Volunteers will be taking the items to those areas next week. They include baby formula, lighters, canned goods, and bottled water. The United States Secretary of Veterans Affairs made a stop in Hazard this morning, speaking to veterans and staff at the Hazard VA Community Outpatient Clinic. WYMT's Amelia Lee was there.
The halls were lined with veterans and other folks at the VA Community Outpatient Clinic in Hazard on Friday. U.S. Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Doug Collins, met with veterans and staff who were impacted by the recent flood.
Exactly what the president told me to do. When he first said, "Do you want? I want you to do the job." I said, "Mr. President, what do you want?" He said, "Take care of my veterans." That's why I'm here. Collins
also took the time to recognize staff members at the clinic who made notable contributions for the veterans they serve during the flood.
You got the workers here at the VA that are making a difference in the community. It's easy to come down here and just say, "Hey, thanks for what you're doing. This is the emphasis that I want." And what I've heard today is exactly what my emphasis is: veterans first.
Luke Rollins is a veteran from Knott County. He says the VA clinic in Hazard does so much good for the community, taking no breaks and making the folks they serve feel like a priority, even in times of crisis.
We have got a good clinic here, and these girls that work here, ladies, They are top of the line.
Veterans who met Collins say they were grateful to see someone from Washington, D.C. make it a priority to visit them right here in Appalachia.
I think that's a plus for this area, that somebody's recognized, that we are here.
With Collins saying it is necessary to make sure veterans are taken care of.
Washington, D.C., the media and everybody up here thinks that's the center of the world. It's pretty nice, but to me, places like this are really the heart of America.
With a mantra of veterans first. In Hazard, Amelia Lee, WYMT, Mountain News.
And the veterans say they were excited to meet the new Secretary of Veterans Affairs. Many Hazard High School students were recognized for their volunteer work during the flood today. WYMT's McKinley Calandrino attended a special event for those helpers.
They are students, they are student athletes, but most importantly, they are student volunteers. Students at Hazard High School were awarded with a community service certificate and a luncheon on Friday to recognize them for their volunteer work after the Valentine's Day weekend flood. The principal, teachers, coaches, and Hazard Mayor Happy Mobilini were all in attendance to support the students and let them know how special it truly is.
Not every kid wants to go out and get in 5 inches of mud and carry filing cabinets out. And we had over 100 that volunteered at our high school.
The superintendent says this will help the students with their future endeavors as well as with college applications and job resumes. They will always have something to show their commitment to their community. But that is not why the students did the dirty work. They help their community because they care.
This is their town. This is the young people's town. They want their city to do well.
Junior Carly Watt says helping each other is a big part of Hazard High School and what they stand for.
It's nice to be appreciated, but that's not what we do it for.
Students care about their town and the people in it.
I mean, it's good. I'm just glad to help people out, help the community out, and see so many people help.
And they say it makes it so much more special being able to come together and help as one big family.
We are one big family. If a neighbor needs help, we're going to go help them. And we don't have to ask twice. They just jump in and are ready to serve.
And that is what makes a Hazard Bulldog a Bulldog. In Hazard, McKinley Calandrino, WYMT Mountain News.
The Hazard High School students volunteered 6 days out of the week. They were out of school for weather. A FEMA Disaster Recovery Center is now open here in Perry County. The site is at Hazard Community and Technical College on the main campus. The center will operate from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 1 p.m. until 7 p.m. on Sundays. FEMA officials say representatives will be able to explain available assistance programs as well as how to apply to FEMA and help connect survivors with resources for their recovery needs. The deadline to apply for federal assistance is April 25th. As many are still dealing with the impact of the recent flood, some are thanking the heroes behind many of the rescues. Several rescue departments gathered to be recognized by First Lady Brittany Bashir today. Kentucky Emergency Management's Doug Hargrate says when legislation created Kentucky's own Urban Search and Rescue Force 3 years ago, he hoped the collaboration of departments statewide would help hundreds. Now they have helped thousands.
Across the state, we had approximately 1,300 people that were rescued, either evacuated by boat or removed from harm's way.
First Lady Brittany Bashir also announced that starting tomorrow through next Friday will be Severe Weather Awareness Week. She and Governor Andy Bashir are encouraging Kentuckians to be prepared for any type of weather.
And while temperatures today weren't as warm as they were yesterday, we still saw pretty pleasant weather. I'm talking 60 degrees still as you're heading outside of the door. 63 for Manchester, 61 for London and Williamsburg. Take a look as you're traveling towards Jacksboro and Monticello, 63 degrees. It is still a wonderful day with nice and sunny skies. We'll continue to see no clouds in the skies for the next couple hours, so we'll have a beautiful sunset tonight. And speaking of tonight, we have a cold front moving through, changing temperatures up just a little bit. Overnight lows will be in the low 40s, but take a look as you're going into tomorrow. Not much is going to be changing. 46 degrees at 9 a.m. and by the time you get to 3 p.m., 44 degrees. It's going to be a little bit cooler tomorrow, but even colder weather is on the way as you're heading into your Sunday with high temperatures in the upper 30s and low 40s. Steve?
All right, Megan, thank you. Police in Barberville have revealed information about an arrest that led to federal charges. Barberville police received information from a church that a man had been exhibiting strange behavior. On January 31st, police contacted a local firearms retailer, which reported the same man, Mara Barwad, who you see there, had tried to buy a gun. After obtaining a warrant, police found Barwad and stopped him in the 4-mile community of Bell County. After arresting him, it was discovered he had previously devised a plan to use a bomb in the tunnels of New York City to shut the city down. The investigation resulted in a federal indictment for firearms-related charges. In Laurel County, police have arrested a man after he reportedly left the scene of an incident. This morning, police were dispatched to a gunshot complaint off US 25, about 2 miles from London. After arriving at the scene, police say they found Jacob Hurley with a gunshot wound to the hand. The victim says he had been cleaning a gun when it went off, striking his hand. Police say William Malicote, who you see there, left the scene with the gun. Police later found Malicote and discovered he was a convicted felon. A Harlan woman was sentenced for her role in a fentanyl trafficking conspiracy case. Leslie Brock was sentenced to more than 20 years in prison for conspiracy to distribute 400 or more grams of fentanyl, which resulted in the death of another person. According to court documents, Brock purchased the drug in Lexington and brought it back to Harlan, selling it to another co-defendant who then distributed the drug, leading to the person's death. A Johnson County man is in jail after police found nude images of a child on his cell phone. Paintsville police responded to a complaint on Lincoln Avenue Tuesday. When they found 39-year-old Josh Francis, police say they were told he had received nude photos of a 12-year-old through social media apps. When police asked if they could search Francis's phone, they found nude images of the child. Francis was taken to the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center. A Clay County man is behind bars after police say he threatened 2 people with a gun. Deputies received a call last weekend about a verbal altercation between Eugene Carpenter and his son Jason. When police arrived, they approached Eugene in his car and detected a scent of alcohol. After police noticed Carpenter was unsteady, they arrested him while retrieving a firearm. He was taken to the Clay County Detention Center. More fake money has been spotted in Laurel County. Detectives with the sheriff's office are investigating after a movie prop $100 bill was used at a local business in London. You can see the fake bill there on your screen. Police are also looking for suspects in the case. If you recognize these folks, contact the sheriff's office at 606-864-6600. The sheriff's office also provided tips about how to spot counterfeit money. We've also heard about some being spotted in Hazard and other places recently. You can find that information on our website at WYMT.com.
Spring is right around the corner. I'll tell you what temperatures you can expect this season coming up. More Mountain News on the way.